What's up, everybody out there watching this video? This video I'm doing is about The Rock returning, the great one, the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. The Rock. You all know who he is, Dwayne Johnson. All wrestling fans know him as The Rock. He announced on Monday, I think Monday afternoon or Monday morning, on his Instagram account that The Rock would be working and coming back to electrify the WWE at WrestleMania 32. The Rock announced that he'll be on the show. What does this mean for WrestleMania and the plans that The Rock has? I don't really know. So I'm going to just talk a little bit off the top of my head and maybe come up with a couple things The Rock could do at WrestleMania 32. Could be the biggest WrestleMania of all time if they get 100,000 people in the Cowboy Stadium, whatever it's called, AT&T Stadium. If they can get somehow, some way, if they can get 100,000 to show up, I'd be pretty shocked by that. But I wouldn't be surprised, really, but I'll be pretty shocked. Maybe that's the same thing. Surprised and shocked, I don't know. But whatever. So The Rock, he announced he's coming back. I'm sure it's only for one night only. He's not going to come back on the Raw after WrestleMania. I doubt it. I doubt he'll make an appearance on Raw. He probably should make one or two appearances on Raw before WrestleMania. He really should, to promote WrestleMania, that he's going to be on the show. To get the fans excited, to get the fans of The Rock excited about him being at WrestleMania, he should try somehow, some way to show up on a Raw before WrestleMania to get everybody excited about WrestleMania. Because The Rock, you could say he's old, you could say he's not even a full-time wrestler, he's not even a part-time wrestler. He doesn't even wrestle twice a year anymore. And why should he? He has a great career going for himself in Hollywood, making movies. So that would really make no sense for The Rock to come back and wrestle 3 times a year. And he's probably too busy anyways to wrestle 3 times a year. So I doubt The Rock would ever do that, and he doesn't need to, because again, his career is in movies. His career is being an actor in Hollywood. And he's making a very, very, very good living at making movies. So, all power to him. I'm happy for The Rock that he has a great movie career going for himself. And it looks like it's not going to end anytime soon, because The Rock, every movie he has been in the past 2 or 3 years has been money, has been huge money makers for Hollywood, and they've made tons of money at the box office. We're talking about Furious 7 he was in, that made a ton of money. I think your nose is running. Anyways, Furious 7, I believe, made $1 billion in the theaters, overseas and in America. In Furious 6, I believe The Rock was also in Fast and Furious 6. I don't remember what they called it, but I'm going to just say it was called Fast and Furious 6. And Furious 7 he was in. Was he in Fast and Furious Part 5? I don't know. I didn't see Part 5. I haven't even seen Part 6 or 7 either. The only Fast and Furiouses I have seen was Part 1, Part 2, I think Part 3. Or maybe Part 3 might have been, I don't remember what it was called. Maybe Part 3 was Tokyo Drift. That was god-awful. I didn't watch that. But anyways, Fast and Furious 1, or was called The Fast and the Furious. And part 2, I think, was called More Fast and More Furious or something like that. And part 3, who knows what it was called. I don't remember. They've made so goddamn many Fast and Furious movies, who knows what it's called. And part 4, part 5, I don't know what they were called. Maybe they were called... Part 4 could have been called More Fast, More Furious. Part 5 could have been even More Fast and More Furious. I don't know what they were called. But they made that series of movies, a Fast and Furious series, has made a ton of money. Probably way over billions and billions of dollars, I'm sure. So my main point is The Rock does not need to return after WrestleMania and do anything, really, because I'm sure he's busy making more movies, and he doesn't have time, probably. I'm surprised he got his schedule cleared to show up at WrestleMania 32, because there was a lot of talk, from what I read on the internet and some wrestling sites, that The Rock was too busy that he couldn't show up and make a WrestleMania 32 appearance, that he was too busy and his schedule was too full and he couldn't get out of a movie to show up at WrestleMania. I find that hard to believe, that The Rock could not get out of a movie for one night to show up at a WrestleMania, because The Rock has got a big enough career in Hollywood by now. The guy has a lot of stroke, I'm sure. And he could probably say to a director or say to a movie studio that he needs some time off, like 1 or 2 days off, and they could give him that, because The Rock has earned it. And The Rock, as I said, I'm sure he has enough power in Hollywood to say, let me have one night off so I can go to work, and not go to work, but so I can make an appearance at WrestleMania 32. So he got his schedule cleared. He is going to be at WrestleMania 32. Now, what will he do? What is WWE and maybe Vince and Rock discussed this already? They could have discussed it last year. Or not last year, but after WrestleMania 31, they could have discussed, or Vince could have asked The Rock, said, I want you at WrestleMania 32 in Dallas, at the biggest WrestleMania of all time, because it's being held in the biggest stadium of all time. That stadium is way bigger than WrestleMania 3, where WrestleMania 3 was held at the Pontiac Silverdome. Well, AT&T Stadium in Dallas is way bigger than the Pontiac Silverdome, which I believe was torn down, sadly. It had to be torn down because it was too old. In the building, I believe the Pontiac Silverdome, they just had to tear it down because I think they found mold in it. So it wasn't safe to keep it up. Anyways, so Dallas, AT&T Stadium, Vince has probably begged The Rock that I want you on WrestleMania 32 because we can break a record together at the biggest indoor attendance record for AT&T Stadium, and probably maybe the biggest indoor attendance record for a sporting event or entertainment event will probably be broken at WrestleMania 32, because the WWE will probably break that record. For damn sure, they're probably going to break the WrestleMania 3 record of 93,000 people that they said were there. So, Vince and Rock, they probably discussed what they want to do with The Rock on the show. I think he will be wrestling probably against Brock Lesnar, because who the hell else are you going to put in there with The Rock to face? Brock and him have history. I thought about this last night. The Rock and Brock have not wrestled and had a rematch since they haven't wrestled each other one-on-one since SummerSlam 2002. And after that, They didn't have a rematch. They didn't have a feud after that because The Rock left to go do some movies in 2002. So he left after SummerSlam, dropped the title to Brock, did the right thing, put over Brock, and went out the door and left WWE for a while. And then we all know Rock returned in January 03 to work with Hulk Hogan. Had No Way Out and to work WrestleMania 19 against Stone Cold. So Vince and Rock, even Triple H, they probably have all been talking to each other before The Rock announced on Instagram that he was going to come back at WrestleMania 32 and make an appearance and electrify, as he said. So if they don't go with, they probably all have been discussing, Vince and Rock, that Rock probably wants to work with Brock Lesnar because they are friends in real life. They respect each other, and I know they're friends. So Rock would probably want to work with Brock. And they never had a rematch against each other, except the only other match they had a one-on-one match at SummerSlam 2002, and then I think before SummerSlam or after it, they did work in Australia on the Global Warning tour. In Australia, they had a match, but it was a triple threat. It was Triple H, Rock, and Brock in a triple threat. That was either before SummerSlam 2002 or after it. It was sometime in August that big show happened from Australia. So The Rock and Brock have really only been in the ring twice against each other, but only once one-on-one. So WrestleMania 32, I would like to see Brock versus The Rock in a one-on-one match. Other things that The Rock could do if they don't have him work with Brock Lesnar. There's been rumors that Brock might work with Kevin Owens, but I don't see that happening now that The Rock has announced that he is coming back at WrestleMania to do something. So I don't see WWE giving Kevin Owens that spot that will probably go to The Rock. Rock could also come out, if he doesn't have a match, he could also come out and maybe Rock could come out and just cut a promo. Because he can cut epic promos. He's fucking awesome on the microphone. And he could do all his catchphrases, and the fans would just be as happy to see The Rock talking in the ring than wrestling. I mean, I would rather see The Rock wrestle, but if he cuts a promo, I'm fine with that. And it could go 10 minutes or 15 minutes. And it could be entertaining as hell, whatever he says. You could also have, during The Rock cutting a promo, you could have Stone Cold's music hit, because he should be on WrestleMania 32, and you know Stone Cold, if he is on the show, he is not going to be wrestling because he keeps saying in interviews he is done wrestling, that his wrestling career is over, and that he's not coming out of retirement for anybody or for any show. And I'm sure WWE and Vince have probably begged Stone Cold, and come 2016 before WrestleMania, they'll probably beg him to wrestle or beg him to come back and probably offer him millions of dollars to do a one match at WrestleMania 32. But I doubt Stone Cold will give in and come back. But you can have Stone Cold's music hit when The Rock is in the ring. They have a lot of history. They were in the ring together at WrestleMania 30. That was a cool moment with Hogan. They have tons of history. Do The Rock and Stone Cold have a ton of history at WrestleMania. They have main evented 3 WrestleManias against each other. Except WrestleMania 19, they didn't end the show, so I guess that wasn't a main event, but it was a top match on the show, so you could call it a main event. So they worked 3 WrestleManias against each other. They had epic matches and tremendous chemistry with each other. Some of the best chemistry ever. And Rock versus Austin was one of the greatest feuds ever in WWE history, in my opinion, during the Attitude Era. So, you could have Stone Cold's music hit, the crowd would go nuts and go insane because it's Texas and it's where Stone Cold is from. It's his home state. I think he was even born, or he's from Dallas, or was born in Dallas, Texas, or somewhere around Dallas. Or he grew up in Dallas. I'm not sure, but whatever. Stone Cold, I'm sure, considers Dallas like a hometown. I don't know where he lives in Texas, but he lives somewhere in Texas. So Stone Cold would get a massive, major pop, coming to the ring, get in the ring, could go face-to-face with The Rock. That'd be epic. And then they could go back and forth on the microphone, and it would be epic. It'd be entertaining as hell. They could even do a song and start singing a song together. It'd be funny, it'd be epic, and it would be awesome to see. If you don't have The Rock cut a promo by himself or with Stone Cold, you could have even Vince McMahon could come out. During The Rock and Stone Cold being in the ring together talking, Vince could come out and say, end this crap or something. End this and get out of my ring. And scream at them to get out of my ring. This is my event. I created it. Get out of my ring. And then Stone Cold could stun Vince McMahon because they have a history together. And that is always great to see Stone Cold stun Mr. McMahon. And then you could have The Rock, even rock bottom Vince, and then do the people's elbow. The crowd would love that, and I'm sure the crowd would pop and go insane if Austin hit the stunner on Vince and Rock did his finishers on Vince. I'm sure the crowd would love it. And it would be pretty entertaining to see. But if you don't have The Rock cutting any promos, then you got to have him face Brock Lesnar, in my opinion, or face, we could see The Rock, we could see face Triple H. That because of last year's WrestleMania 31, they were in the ring together, and there's a lot of history there between Triple H and The Rock. They had a great rivalry and a great feud when they were in their prime. If you don't have The Rock face Triple H, you could have The Rock, I doubt this will happen, but if Ronda Rousey is available and gets the okay from Dana White to work WrestleMania 32, which I doubt will happen, but if it did happen and Ronda Rousey is brought in as a surprise, you could have, I'm just saying, you could have Triple H. If they didn't announce ahead of time that Ronda Rousey is going to be on WrestleMania 32 and they wanted to keep it a surprise, you could have The Rock Triple H beating down The Rock in the ring, attacking him, and then Stephanie could even join in, start kicking The Rock, slapping him, and then you could have Ronda Rousey come out, run down to the ring, get in the ring, Stephanie, Triple H bail and leave the ring like scared, coward heels, and then Ronda gets on the mic and could help up The Rock and say, why don't you, Triple H, and you, Stephanie, get in the ring right now and let's get it on in a tag team match. Get in the ring right now. That Ronda Rousey wants Triple H and Stephanie, and she'll team up with The Rock. And then that match right there, right then and there, when the Ronda runs down, gets on the mic, and talks some smack, then right there, you could start the tag match, Triple H, Stephanie versus Ronda Rousey and The Rock. That'd be awesome. That'd be a great surprise for WrestleMania. It would also be great if they announced it ahead of time and said Ronda and The Rock are teaming up to take on Stephanie and Triple H. That'd be a great WrestleMania moment to see that tag match. I don't know how good it would be. I mean, The Rock and Triple H could carry it because even though The Rock hasn't been in the ring in a long time, the guy could still carry a match, and he's still damn good in the ring. I mean, I'm sure he's not going to forget how to wrestle and work because he did it for so long and he was damn good at it. And Triple H, even though he's not in the ring, hasn't been in the ring since last WrestleMania, the guy's a good enough worker where he can put on a good match once a year and not look like he has any ring rust on him. So that'd be great. And if they did announce it ahead of time, you could even have Ronda Rousey somehow, some way, they should get her to appear on Raw before WrestleMania to hype WrestleMania up. And I don't want to hear stupid people think if Ronda Rousey comes back to work WrestleMania, some people actually think she will not be a draw, that she can't be a draw anymore, and that she can't make money for the UFC anymore, and she's not a draw because she was knocked out and lost. That's just stupidity, because whenever Ronda comes back to fight Holly Holm in a rematch for the title, it's again going to probably be one of the biggest UFC pay-per-view buy rates of all time, and might even break the record for their first fight between Ronda and Holly Holm. It could probably break the pay-per-view buy rate record for UFC. So Ronda is still a draw. Doesn't matter, she lost. I mean, nobody's invincible. So Ronda is still a draw. And if she was on Raw or at WrestleMania in a WWE ring, I'm sure a lot of fans would like to see that and would be excited. And when you would see Ronda on WWE TV, you wouldn't think, oh, she got knocked out in the UFC, so I'm going to turn the channel because I don't want to watch her because she's a loser. That's just stupidity if you think that way. She still is a fucking draw. And if you think she isn't, you're a fucking idiot, because she is still a draw. So if Rock doesn't work with Triple H or Brock or Ronda Rousey in a tag match against Stephanie and Triple H, I would like to see The Rock take on Kevin Owens or The Undertaker. And I doubt he'll wrestle Kevin Owens or The Undertaker. He'll probably be wrestling Brock Lesnar is my best guess right now. If I had to pick one, I would say The Rock is probably picked Brock Lesnar as his WrestleMania 32 opponent. Anyways, am I happy? Am I glad The Rock is coming back at WrestleMania 32 to make an appearance? Yes, I am glad and happy for that, because the guy's entertaining. The guy's going to make WrestleMania better by just being on it. And by WWE, they were smart. By the WWE announcing on Rock's Instagram before January, they were really smart to announce The Rock is going to be on WrestleMania, because that is going to boost up ticket sales and sell more tickets from fans, that people that are old fans and used to love The Rock, or people that are still fans and love The Rock. So I'm sure Rock being on WrestleMania is going to help the WWE probably sell out AT&T Stadium by The Rock just being on it. And we're not going to just have The Rock on it. Triple H is probably going to be wrestling. Stone Cold will probably be on the show some way, shape, or in form. He'll be on the show. The Undertaker will be on the show. Sting, I doubt, will be on the show wrestling, but maybe Sting will make an appearance because he lives in Texas. Who else? I cannot think of any other big major names. I mean, Brock Lesnar, he's a major name. He'll be on the show. But I can't think of anybody else that is a major name except for Stone Cold, Rock, Brock, Undertaker, and Triple H wrestling. That's the only guys I can think of that WWE will bring back for WrestleMania. I really doubt, and it's pretty sad, but I doubt that WWE brings back Hulk Hogan to make an appearance at WrestleMania 32. I doubt that will happen, because he has his trial starting in March for the people he's suing over his sex tape. The website that released his sex tape without him wanting them to sell it because some stupid guy that worked on Bubba the Love Sponge, his show, some guy on his show stole the sex tape, or stole the little file that was being recorded on it and sold it to this website. I believe their name is Gawker or some crap like that. That website, it's a bunch of fucking retards for releasing and even putting that Hogan sex tape on their website. I don't know who in the fuck would want to watch it. Will never watch it. So I'm glad Hogan sued that website, because they deserve to be sued, and they deserve to have their entire website shut down, in my opinion, because they're a bunch of scumbags for putting that sex tape on their website. Like, they absolutely think that they don't have to abide by anybody's privacy, and that nobody deserves any privacy. Whatever. That website, I hope they get their ass sued, and I hope they go out of business, and I hope they go bankrupt, and I hope they lose in court. I hope they lose to Hogan, because they deserve to lose. They were very wrong for what they did. Anyways, I doubt Hogan will be on the show. Even if he is, he'll probably just cut a promo and say how happy he is to be back, and I would guess if he did come back, he'd probably get a standing ovation, because a lot of wrestling fans and Hogan fans already forgive him, in my opinion. At least I forgive him for what he said 8 years ago. He should have never said it, but he did. Anyways, a lot of wrestling fans and Hogan fans have probably already forgiven him, and if he did return, he'd probably get a standing ovation. So this ends my video where talking about The Rock. The big news is he's returning. He announced he will be on WrestleMania 32. That's a good thing for WWE, because it will help them sell more tickets to WrestleMania 32. They are not sold out yet. I don't even know how many tickets they have sold. They have probably sold 60 or 70,000 already, is my guess, but I don't think they're anywhere near 100,000 yet. So The Rock will boost and help those ticket sales go up. So it's good for the WWE. And it's a good thing that The Rock is doing, that he's coming back at a WrestleMania, because he doesn't have to, people. He's a very busy man. As I said, he's a huge Hollywood movie star. The Rock does not need to come back to the WWE, but I honestly believe The Rock wants to come back because he wants to entertain his wrestling fans that were fans of his. And I'm sure The Rock still loves the business, or else he wouldn't be coming back. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video on my what the hell is the word am I looking for here? Just my talking about what The Rock might do at WrestleMania 32. Hope you enjoyed it. Follow me on Twitter at TNAWWE Guy. Bye for now, everybody.